what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls and the Crew.
Good morning.
Where winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. You could be anywhere, but you listening to us, so we greatly appreciate you taking some time out. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Cheers.
How was everyone's week?
Good so far, man. We're what is it? Well, it's not. What is it like? Father time and mother winter. You know, whatever the cold person is, they're being pretty gracious to us right now in the Midwest.
Yeah, nice. It was what 50 something this week.
I'll take it. I will definitely take it over some snow.
Yeah. Headed to colder weather tomorrow, so I'm not looking forward to that one. Chiefs playing Denver, so I'm like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you can go skiing in the mountains.
I'm like Southwest Airlines, let's ride.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get excited to be with the snow bunnies.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about on to today's show. Brittany Griner, she's returned to the U.S. After release from Russia. We'll dive into that. And then MLB Hall of Famer Ken Griffey Jr., he's partnering with the MLB and MLBPA to announce an inaugural HBCU Swingman Classic. And Deion, he's receiving a lot of backlash for leaving HBCU for Colorado. Q, I know you have a lot to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Nike says that Kyrie Irving is no longer one of its athletes. Interesting. Plus, coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Brittany Griner returns to the U.S. after release from Russia. Griner has been detained in Russia for nearly 10 months, and she was exchanged for a notorious arms dealer on Thursday. Steve, your thoughts?
It's really interesting. This is, I mean, we had some kind of inclination that the U.S. wanted to do this deal about 3 or 4 months ago, and it just kind of fell through. But I guess it was something that they had been working on since that time. But the news outlets, of course, leaked that they were trying to trade for an arms dealer, and I think that kind of held up the process. But it was, to me, I think it was always going to get done.
Yeah.
Russia had no reason to keep Brittany Griner, to be honest. And I think they also had no reason to let her be harmed in any way. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, I think they would have been hell to pay, especially just because she's so high profile and the punishment didn't fit the crime.
Exactly.
And so I think now that she's out, they have their person, we have our person. I think the uproar, more or less, I saw Micah Parsons tweet out. He tweeted out basically that we left a Marine over there and brought back Brittany Griner. So how does that add up? Why didn't we try to get both? But look, I think you get what you can get, right? Yeah. Like you get whether it was Brittany, whether it was the Marine, and I think more or less the Marine is more trained for that. More trained. I mean, you go through combat training, you go through the mind, the mental training to be, if you get caught, if you become a POW, then you know what to do. I guess he's been over there for a couple years. But the prisoner that we had, the
The merchant of death.
The merchant of death. Yeah, that's a hell of a name.
Yeah.
But I think we've had him in custody. He's been in jail for what, 15 years?
Yeah, he's been in jail for a while.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good to see Brittany
Mhm.
Griner being able to be reunited with her family.
No, it definitely is. It's so many layers to the story. Because you talk about an arms dealer, but I mean, what is the military?
Yeah.
Like the story just came out this week that the Pentagon can't even account for like $600 million. Like that's something crazy.
Yeah.
You know, how do you lose 600 million of the taxpayers' dollars? But that's a whole nother story.
Mhm.
But then the arms dealer was set to be released. What was it, like 5-6 years?
Yeah.
So he got an early release. I mean,
Is that, well, I guess that'd be what,
it was like
70% of your
20
time?
yeah, and he's
Yeah.
getting out like 2029.
Yeah.
Like, so that it's an early release.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. we get Brittany Griner home. We get an American home. And the guy that's in over there, he wasn't as much of a bargaining chip as
Mhm.
Brittany Griner was. So again, like, you know, being a prisoner of war, and it's not actually war, but you
It
know,
is.
he basically held her hostage.
And Putin, he can utilize this. I mean, they're guilty of playing mind games
Exactly.
in foreign countries. And he's saying, all right, well, look what I just did.
Yeah.
Pat himself on the back. You know, I got this guy home who we felt like he's innocent. So
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's so many layers to the story, but I think the issue with a lot of people's anger is that it's a black lesbian. Like, I don't think it's too much more nuanced than that. Like, a lot of people are upset because it was a black lesbian.
Mhm.
Like, Michael Parsons has never said anything. He didn't even know the Marine's name.
Right.
And
and he admitted, and now he admitted that he was
apologize.
wrong.
no,
Yeah.
he definitely admitted that, but it just shows you how fast people jump out just to spew hate at somebody else.
Yeah.
And that's not they don't even understand you know why, because one, he didn't know the Marine's name, and then he also didn't know that he was dishonorably discharged.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if you got dishonorably discharged from service, yeah, you did something crazy. Like, you did something wild. So
Yeah.
again, why are you crying for him?
And
Like,
I think his reasoning and what he said via Twitter was that he has a lot of his family members that have served,
and that don't mean nothing.
and he wouldn't want them sitting over there.
And that
so-
don't mean nothing, because he still didn't even know the guy's name.
Oh, true.
So that's the bad part. Like, you know, Brittany Griner, like, she's celebrity, all of that, but now you're gonna cry about this guy. Like, it's just so layered. I hate that people jump out for that, and instead of being like happy that somebody came home, and she's coming home to her wife for Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
like, what are you upset about? Like, crying over nothing. But hey,
Definitely. It's definitely super layered. What do you think's next for Brittany Griner?
I mean, it's gonna be a lot of talking on her behalf. And the good thing is she's probably gonna get a good bit of money from this. So,
Think so?
you know, I mean, appearances.
Oh yeah.
It'll probably be book deals, probably
Yeah.
some kind of documentary. It'll be a couple of things layered on it. But I think for her, it's gonna be some sort of advocacy, and especially not only some like different advocacy politically, but advocating for the WNBA to pay more.
Yeah.
And that's that's the thing that's like underlying. And I mean, we talked about it a couple of months ago. Like, if the WNBA was paying, she wouldn't have had to go over there,
play,
you know, to
yeah.
try to play.
Exactly.
So again, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed at home, and like sending players and celebrity to foreign countries, especially hostile countries, that's it shouldn't even be a discussion. And especially in a time like this, where I mean, we're on the brink of world war, it seems like, every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it to me, it's a good thing that she's back too.
Mhm.
I mean, just now and I'm like, now what's next? What can we do? What else can we do
Yeah.
since we moving things? So I think that's the biggest thing is like, all right, what else can we do as far as in the foreign lands?
Do you think she'll go back to ball? Like, how do you
of
go?
course.
But how soon? And how do you go about that after, like, all this is so fresh right now and mentally, emotionally?
She hasn't touched the ball in what 200 days.
Mm-hmm.
How long can you go without hooping to going back to hooping?
I mean, I feel like, especially in that case, like muscle memory, all that, it's gonna click right away. But like, I'm talking the mental aspect, and like after like the traumas and everything going through that, and then you come back here, and she's gonna get backlash regardless, even coming from Micah Parsons. People are gonna have their take on it too. Like, how do you deal with that and keep on rocking?
I think it was more people for her than against her.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, I know people are loud about it, but I mean, that's just issues they got to deal with themselves.
Absolutely. Now, Deion Sanders receives backlash for leaving HBCU for Colorado's. Another one.
Oh man, I'm happy for Deion. I'm happy for Colorado. The only thing that sucks about it is some of the players that the bottom tier guys on and I'm looking at this two different ways. So the bottom tier guys on Jackson State, like those guys, some of them needed Deion. Like some of them really needed to that coaching, that mentor, someone who they can look to. Now, granted, there's been plenty of other coaches in not only HBCUs, but just of all time coaches, right? That kids have looked up to. But on the flip side of that, you look at the kids at Colorado, the recruits. I saw one recruit tweet out, "Yeah, Deion sent me a letter saying he's no longer recruiting me. I'm opening my recruitment process back up." So kids like that, it's like, all right, they already had it in their mind, like, okay, I'm going here. They recruited me tough. This is what I've chosen. Now they gotta. What happens if the other schools have already chosen their kids? And not only that, Deion went in there, and the first thing that he said to the players was like, "Hey, y'all can jump into the transfer portal because I'm bringing baggage, and it ain't nothing but Louis Vuitton." Yeah. So. That just goes to tell you he's going to already have his favorites. Yeah. Now I'm wondering what he's going to do about the quarterback that's already there. Like, because his son is a quarterback.
Right. I mean, make it a competition, but
from listening to Deion, I don't think that's what he's So and so the quarterback's transfer. So like all these other guys you got seniors that have already like, man, I'm trying to make it to the league. You're going to bring in somebody who plays my position and I've been here 4 years, put in the time. That would suck.
Paid my dues.
Yeah, that would suck. And then COVID year happened. Yeah. So and I'm wondering, and I haven't heard this, but like, I know that some of the seniors got an extra year, but can you still utilize that? Like, are kids ever to utilize the COVID year still?
Well, because they got an extra year. I feel like
across the board.
I was gonna say I feel like everybody got an extra year for COVID. So that's, I mean, yes, it makes it very sticky for a lot of those guys, and I mean that is the nature of college football.
Yeah, but not.
That's the nature.
It don't happen like this all the time.
Like, no, it doesn't happen all the time because you don't always have these coaches vacating for a D1, job like that. Usually, it's the D1 type of shuffle.
Yeah.
Well, the Power 5 shuffle, like that's normally what it is. But same. I hate it for Jackson State as a whole. I hate it for the city of Jackson. I hate it for that community because Deion is a salesman.
Like
Deion
got a mouthpiece.
Deion is a salesman.
Yeah.
So I don't think any of us were surprised. Like a lot of people that keep up with sports, and especially in this football and college football realm, I mean, you weren't surprised. Deion's aspirations. Like Deion is, he may not want to be an NFL coach at any point.
Money come talking.
Yeah, but I mean that Power 5. Yes, he played at Florida State. All of that. Like they didn't want him. Now they want him. It's just interesting to see how like Colorado doesn't have the money to pay him. They're using him almost as like a fundraiser.
Yeah.
So again, like just even those things coming out, like, yeah, why leave? But you also get why he leaves because, you know, the facilities and there's a lot of things politically that he can't do anything about. Like, you know, Brett Favre stole a chunk of money that probably could have went to the school. So this is another situation that's so layered and so nuanced, but I'm the person that I can't blame somebody like Deion for I can blame him for his salesmanship, but I mean, nobody that's a salesman like that is gonna say, you know, what their moves are, and I can't blame him for taking that promotion, because he look out as far as like coaching and setting certain people in place. Like I get that. I just hate how sticky and messy it was. Like that, he did a lot, but overall, I think he wants his son to win a Heisman. I mean, has there ever been a father-son duo that won a Heisman? No, like that's never happened. So when you look at the type of campaign that he's on for Shedeur Sanders, like, yeah, he just had a 12-0 season. He just threw for, what was it, like 4,000 to 3? It was like 3,500 to 4,000 yards. You know, he did a very good job in Jackson. And then I think they have a bowl game coming up too. Well, he's not. I don't think he'll be at the bowl game. I think Deion said he's coaching. Yeah, but I'm saying his son. I don't think his son will be at the bowl game. But yeah, I think he wants his son to win the Heisman. And he's gonna go on that campaign. I don't know how he does it in Colorado, but again, like he said, he's bringing baggage. I mean,
it's Louis Vuitton,
and
I mean, it's top shelf.
And Deion, you know, I'm sure he had scouts and handlers out there that could, you know, recruit the talent. So again, and how many players was it that got into the portal? I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000. It was something like it was a ridiculous number.
It's like 7,000. Normally, it's like, you know, anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000.
Okay,
now it's like 7,000.
That must have been the norm. But yeah, because I saw the number and I'm like, man, that's a lot of players. But then you look at all these schools out here. There's a lot of guys transferring. I don't know how much of a coach's shuffle is going to be going on in the next month or so. But I mean, it'll work out. I don't think his son is winning a Heisman, but it'll. I think it'll be interesting because I don't know how Deion's big personality meshes with young players that have big person. Like, I don't know how he deals with a 19, 20-year-old prime time. Like,
that's a good question.
Like, how do you deal with that? And I think that's where his hurdles are going to be. Because one, again, we don't know how much of a like strategist Deion is and how he is with game plan every week.
And I don't think he can. To answer that question, I don't think he has had to go through a 19-year-old prime. Like those kids, those kids are going to Alabama. Those kids are going to Florida State, the top tier. So he hasn't had to come across that yet, but he will.
Yeah,
he will. Especially if you're trying to recruit now, you can recruit the top tier and won't be questioned
because he's not getting like the Kyler Murrays. And like I think there's certain guys that have a certain like confidence within themselves, arrogance, whatever you want to call it.
He's got to show that he can win before he gets those kids.
And that, I think that's what it is. I think a lot of people kind of see through that salesmanship.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you can bring the money and all that, but when it comes to X's and O's, that's the Deion that's gonna matter. And Deion, he doesn't look like Lane Kiffin. So
I mean, and I don't want to cut you off, but I want to ask y'all this: did he leave Jackson State better than where he found it?
Yes, he definitely left it better than where he found it. I mean, they new facilities, a new stadium on the way. Like there were promises that he made that were kept. And I can't say he made a promise that he was going to be like Eddie Robinson and stay 40, 50 years to coach. But you would have hoped it was in like that 5 to 10 year range and then, move your way up.
Yeah, and friend of the show, Charmaine Harden, she said it was a lot of safety issues he faced too. They were breaking in the kids' cars, his own and players during practice. They also stole from his locker room during the game. But the way it unfolded, it could have been a little better, in my opinion. I understand his leaving.
And theft and car break-ins and all that happens in Colorado as well.
Yeah.
So like, I think the overarching thing, again, Deion wanted to be in Power 5. And that was his stepping stone. Like, and on top of that, I think he wants his son to win a Heisman.
And Duke Palmer said he's going to change the landscape of college football.
Definitely.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, again, what if he's like a Lane Kiffin that just, he's not really the strategist. He's not the X's and O's guys.
Yeah.
So, again, he'll have to have good assistants, which I don't doubt. I think he can get some good assistance.
And people talked about that. People talked about, he didn't have the kind of money that he's going to get in Colorado, like to where he can pay coaches, the top tier coaches, to come in that look like him.
Yeah. And that's so again, that's I don't know how you do that. And again, like, Charmaine brings up car break-ins and all that. Like, what if he brings in all of these black players to part of the country that's not necessarily kind to black people? Like Boulder, Colorado is not the blackest place around. So again, like there's some racial terror.
It's cold out there, one way or another.
Exactly. And there's a certain level of racial terror that they have to deal with. So, whether it's with poor people or, whether it's with people that don't like black people, like there's still that level of danger there. So
not everybody's gonna like it. Not everybody likes, everyone's decisions that they make too. So because look, when these social issues start cracking off, like let another Mike Brown happen or whatever, they gonna be and Deion being vocal about it, they gonna try to ship him out. Yeah.
And so again, like it's definitely layered, but you wish the best for Deion.
Definitely. But even though money talks, and definitely in this situation, in that transition, he's bringing baggage. For everybody knows how strong his personality is and his presence and everything. For the coaching staff, like, just as much as you can say he hasn't ran into a primetime player, what happens whenever the coaches at the next level are like, listen here?
Well,
how do you think that's going to play
out? I don't think it plays out like that, because then coaches have a certain level of respect, like, and especially if you could play the game, like it's Deion Sanders, like, or Leon Sandcastle, whatever you want to call him. But
some of that stuff ain't gonna fly.
Yeah.
Some of that, like him walking around during the warm-ups of the other team, that to me, he's not going.
That'll fly. I don't.
Nah, I don't. You can do some. You can get away with some of that little minute stuff at Jackson State, and not saying that it's a lower level, but I'm just saying, like,
the stage.
You're not gonna do that at Michigan. You're not gonna do that at Ohio State.
You can't. You can, because again, you'll have cameras going around you. So yeah, like he can do that.
I don't know, man. I just don't, like, you got the kids, top level talent. They're warming up at Ohio State. Like, these kids are like,
well,
man,
and he's not playing Ohio State. Like, he's Pac-12. So
I mean,
but still, like, going to the Arizonas, going to the
UCLA's, the USC's.
You could do that.
Yeah,
you could do that. Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Remember these coaches run on the field with two troopers side by side. So again, he could do that, because I got cameras around me. I got these armed gang members with me. Like,
we'll see. We'll see.
Now, Aaron Judge and the Yankees reportedly in agreement on a 9-year, $360 million contract.
Bet on yourself, young man.
Yeah,
young Aaron. No, I love it, man. Like, because.
And why do you say bet on yourself? I
mean, just what he did. So the Yankees offered him last season to around $260 million, right? I don't know the years or whatnot, but I would imagine it's, somewhere 8-9 year range. He said no. He said, no, I'm just gonna let it play out. Y'all don't offer me what I want now. You're gonna be hoping that you would have offered what I was asking for, and I'm sure it wasn't 340 million.
Yeah.
And he goes out and he wins the AL Player of the Year. He, beat their single season home run record for the New York Yankees. He's done all this stuff. He carried his team.
Yeah.
And now it's like, all right, I've done all this. Show me the money.
Yeah.
I bet on myself. So I totally agree. He didn't have any injuries this season. Sometimes it plays out exactly how you want it to. And so he originally told the Yankees, all right, I want $340 million, but there's a bunch of other teams, the Giants, the Dodgers. There's a bunch of other teams that are offering me that. So what are y'all gonna do? I'm giving y'all another opportunity. So all right, Mr. Judge, sir, sign your name on this paper that says $360 million for 10 years. Now, on the flip side of that, I think the Yankees are not smart at all for doing that. Because Aaron Judge is not. Once you get 30 in baseball, you're on the other end of being able to continue to play at a high level. Now, what I had told him, okay, we could lower that number and give it to 5 years. Now they're stuck with, because baseball is fully guaranteed. So what are they going to do as far as the youth movement? How are they going to continue to have people around him year 6, 7, if he makes it that long, right? So I think the Yankees weren't too smart, as far as looking at it from a longevity standpoint.
Yeah, because even then he still gets the bag, but then it forces their hand, because in baseball they're going to trade somebody quick. Wasn't it? It wasn't Mike Trout. Who was the guy that went from the Angels? Whatever it was, because I forget baseball players' names these days. But there'll be some sort of blockbuster trade if they can't keep them. People leave New York all the time, and I agree with you. I think it'll have that A-Rod effect, and especially in the pinstripes, because that's a market that everyone can't handle, and a team that's full of tradition that I don't know if people can handle. But get the bag. I think they want to try to attract some talent, and that could be another end of it as well. Like, do you think there'll be other players that will want to go play with Aaron Judge up in New York? Like, I don't know. But I don't know if baseball is like basketball in that, right? Where, I want to go play with Paul George.
And all of this, Adam Garcia is asking how much is it fully guaranteed. It's all fully guaranteed.
And what was the number?
9 years, $360 million deal.
Yeah.
Yep. So and that breaks down to $770,000 a week, $110,000 per day.
And it was like
$4,600 per hour and $76 per
76 per minute. Yeah, I saw that the other day, and I said per minute.
Yeah. How would y'all like to wake up every morning or every week? Let's just say every Friday, you're getting $770,000 in your checking account
on a different island.
On
a new one every Friday. I'm waking up on a different one.
$770,000.
Nah. Yeah,
y'all would not see me. I'm out of here.
You still gotta play.
I'm out of here. I'll be back by the game. I'll figure it out. What are you gonna tell me?
You still gotta keep up with because I'm sure there's clauses.
Yeah.
Right. Like in order to get to that full amount, you gotta do such and such. You gotta come to workouts. You gotta do. So, now the Yankees are smart, but I think he's gonna be fine. He got to what he wanted. He got to that number.
Yeah, he'll be good, and I think the Yankees will be all right. The game of baseball, I think, is gonna take like some kind of change in the next couple of years. So
now the Commanders GM testified that owner Dan Snyder and his staff were the ones who leaked the emails that got John Gruden fired. Cue your thoughts.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Like, all that stuff you under investigation for is you still a terrible person, but look what terrible people do to each other at the top. Like, because Jerry Jones, I know, was hoping all of this, stayed under wraps, but thanks, Dan.
Yeah, snitches get stitches. Snitches get stitches.
Yeah.
No, but I think, he knew his time was coming. And he's like, I'm gonna drag down whoever I can.
He should.
Yeah. And so that was just it.
No, yeah. I'm just ready for him to release those hunt files.
It ain't happening.
Okay.
On that note, we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll discuss Bills pass rusher Von Miller out for the season. Keep it locked in. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us, and we'll talk about whatever topic.
One more time.
Now, Bills pass rusher Von Miller out for a season after undergoing surgery to repair ACL tear.
That's tough. That's tough. But the Bills, I think they'll be fine. I think I think most definitely their defense is still solid. You know, he was the great addition this year, a leader on their defense. But for the most part, I think it kind of levels the playing field a little bit more for their opponents.
For the Chiefs.
I ain't talking about the Chiefs because they still look. They might not even play the Chiefs again this season. Like, so I'm talking about just going towards the end of the season, just the other 5 games they have. So it sucks for Von Miller though.
Yeah, no, I hate it because, I mean, again, it does level the playing field for the Chiefs because Von Miller was a menace playing that game, and he was always in Pat's face. So, you know, if they do match up in the playoffs, personally, I would want to see Von Miller there. I want to see a better game with him in there. But like you said, I think Buffalo will be okay. I know they're going to miss that presence. I hate it for Von, though.
At 33 years old, this was how Von Miller is. That's a tough injury to come back from. Like, especially because bigger guys, you know, defensive lineman, offensive lineman, that's
he's
tough.
He's not a big guy. So
Von Miller is.
I mean, he's a big guy, but I'm saying like I not big in that sense of I think he's lean enough to come back from that. Yes. Yeah. I don't see any issues
He said he looks 40. Like, how old are you? You look 40.
Nah, yeah, he
look
does
30.
He does age himself with that crazy mustache and those big Coke bottle glasses. Like, that's so funny. But
Now, Griffey, MLBPA announced inaugural HBCU Swingman Classic. Steve, your thoughts?
I think it's dope. Like, as much as we've been talking about a lot of baseball these past few weeks, and a lot of it is how to get, young Black kids to play the sport. And this is just another avenue that can allow that to happen, or that it will assist in that process. So I think it's a great idea, and it's something that's needed, especially because we even talked about guys like Mookie Betts and other Black players in the league, Aaron Judge, other Black players in the league, and showing that to be able to get kids that look like them to play. And they're not really that outspoken about it. At least we don't hear about it. So Ken Griffey, I mean, who better than him, the kid himself?
Yeah, no, my favorite player ever in baseball, and it's good to see from him, because again, it opens up those lanes for those HBCUs and that talent that's there. I love it. I love it because you look at the impact Deion had. That's a similar impact that a Ken Griffey Jr. can have on baseball, on a baseball program, especially in that HBCU realm. If I hadn't have been so stupid trying to play quarterback at Southern, I could have walked onto the baseball team. And there was a pretty competitive baseball team when I was there. And I just hope that this classic brings out the talent that gets overlooked. And I know in the HBCU realm, a lot of that talent is definitely getting overlooked.
Let's hear from King Griffey.
Hi, I'm King Griffey Jr. Just when you thought it was hot in Seattle, it just got hotter. The HBCU Swingman Baseball Classic will be held at T-Mobile Park, the All-Star Game before the All-Star Game. Not everybody can go to a Power 5 conference, but that shouldn't stop you from playing the game that you love. And that's what I want to bring to the forefront. That these kids are out here playing baseball because they love the game of baseball. Here's an opportunity for these kids to showcase their talent. There's a lot of great players who played our game who went to historical Black colleges. Marquise Gritson, Ricky Weeks, Vince Coleman, and Hall of Famer Andre Dawson. So you might see the next Andre Dawson out there. So why don't you come show your support, show your love, and stop by. This is powered by MLB, MLBPA, Youth Development Foundation. The HBCU Swingman Classic at T-Mobile Park. It's gonna be hot.
Yeah, that's dope.
And you talk about that youth development league, isn't that what we have just right around the corner? So
no, that's not
youth
even
academy.
That's just the MLB Youth Academy, but
I thought that was part of that youth development program.
Nope. This is that's a little bit different. They actually have kids, and Patrick Mahomes talked about he played in it growing up.
That league. Okay,
It's a different league, and it's kind of like a series of camps, if that makes sense, for baseball, but it's for Black kids. So it's really gonna be something special to see. Just from the standpoint of it being All-Star Weekend, those young people being able, because some of those kids don't never get to see an All-Star game. So I think it's gonna be really dope.
No, love it for the kids.
Love it. Now, Nike says Nets Kyrie Irving no longer one of its athletes.
I mean, what we expect.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just from Kyrie, I knew it was coming. I mean, there's no coming back from when an owner of a company says, I think we're gonna break ties with this player. There's no coming back from that. Like, Kyrie is not Steph. Kyrie's not.
I mean, and Steph ain't flying off the handle like that.
Yeah, but even if he did, Under Armour ain't gonna pull the plug like that.
You don't know. But I think that's one thing that happens. Like, Kyrie serves as an example. Like, You ain't got to do all that.
And he wrote "I am free" on his sneakers, and he's like, "Thank God I am free."
He's
Logo here, and I saw on a guy that I follow on social media. He's currently getting sued by Nike. Black guy. He came out with some sneakers. The sneaker kind of looks similar to the ones of Nike.
He's been doing that for years.
Yeah, and they sent him a lawsuit letter, but he's appealing to Kyrie like, hey, let me help you create a sneaker brand. So he came out and said, all right, Kyrie's folks have gotten with him, and they're supposed to be having a meeting. So,
I mean, I don't know. That guy's been boosting designs for a long time.
Yeah, Sia Creative, I think that's his name. SIA, Sia Creative. Yeah.
No, it's been bootlegging designs for years. So again, if Kyrie gets in bed with that, like, what type of infringement lawsuits is he gonna? I mean, intellectual property lawsuits that he's gonna go. Like, it's a lot that can happen in that. Like, if Nike's already suing you for stealing designs, like, yeah, I don't know if Kyrie should pair with that, but he could do what he want with his business.
And it looks like Nike's not really skipping a beat either. Ja Morant is expected to replace Kyrie Irving as the latest NBA athlete with a signature Nike deal.
Exactly. Lose one PG, get another. I mean,
super dope. I mean, he's played his way into a deal. Put it to you that way. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
He's played his way into a sneaker deal.
And he's got all of Memphis behind him. So imagine the type of Nike gear that's going to be floating around Memphis.
You talking about real Nike gear or bootleg Nike gear? Down on Beale Street.
No, the real Nike gear.
I thought my man's going to be popping trunk down off Beale Street.
Because that's probably what Ja Morant is going to end up doing. He's going to pull up with a truck and just start giving out Grizzly colorways. Yeah. So, I mean, it works out for him. And I mean, Kyrie is just gonna be in YouTube comments.
Well, it's expected to officially debut in summer 23, and then Devin Booker will also have his debut signature shoe in fall 2023.
About time. I think these are two of the best point guards in the league. You know, if you're not going with Jordan Brand, who are you gonna go with? I mean, Nike's the next best.
You're not going with Under Armour, Steve?
Here's my thing about Under Armour. Their design quality just isn't.
Yeah, it's not there.
It isn't there. You know, like, I mean, The Rock, his Bull like workout shoes, they're pretty dope. You get Steph's stuff has come around, but they just don't have the same kind of design quality. And I know sneakers it's not much that you can differ from, but they just don't have the design quality.
Checks. An NPR article reports that club soccer puts the sport out of reach for many kids.
Facts.
Really?
100%. I can go in on this one.
Facts.
Well, I should say my parents could go in on this one.
No, they could.
I know we've talked about it before, but yeah, they've literally always told me, even when I first got my scholarship to Washburn to play soccer, they were like, we've been making payments on this for a minute now. So it's definitely up there. And club, even bringing all these different turf fields and facilities out here. I mean, those coaches and those trainers are getting paid. You got to cut the check somewhere.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I have a relative that coaches. I mean, I met him. He coaches club soccer out there, and yes, it's a big deal. Like, and they're I think it was like $1,500 a season.
It's ranging around. Some are saying they've spent about $10K a year.
Yeah, just reading that article, and the guy that's on there, they interview, said that he has 2 kids and he spent $10,000 last season for his kids playing soccer.
No, that's
crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a crazy amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like factor in travel, hotels, all that, I mean, it'll run up quickly.
And I'm just trying to, because the another person that they interview in the article, he's from DC, and he came out and said, hey, he's trying to build a league in his city where kids don't have to pay that much, because his thing was, you get kids and parents that pay that amount of money, but how much are they learning in the game? How much of the game were they learning?
depends on the coaches and all that. Like there's different factors. Because I mean, like Jazz said, she was able to, take club and push it into a scholarship, to go to the next level. But yeah, it takes some money now when you look at sports, whether it's baseball, whether it's AAU basketball, whatever it is. Like a lot of these I mean, different like rec leagues almost. Yeah, you paying a pretty penny. And it's definitely become a business more than it's become like teaching and developing kids. But
I'm just thinking of like my son, like Peyton, right? Like just looking at because he plays baseball, and I'm thinking of last year, right? Like at least, if I'm running down, adding up the bill, it's $600 and maybe $1,000 in league fees. That's for fall, spring, summer, and then you're looking at $400 a season for a bat, $200 or $150 to $200, depending on, like last year he needed 3 pair of cleats because he just grew out within fall, spring, summer. So that's another $500-600. Baseball bat, he needs a new bag every year, new uniform, just batting gloves. So all that stuff, I mean, probably 5,000 at least, 4 or 5, close to 4 or 5,000 just in equipment, catcher's gear, new glove. And I know my dad got him some like the gear and all that stuff, but still it all adds together.
Yeah.
So
it definitely adds up.
It really does. It really, and I'm just thinking of just like other kids who play just straight tournament ball. That travel, I think that adds a lot, and like Jazz was saying, that adds a lot into it as well.
No, it definitely does.
And I just hate it because, of course, in those situations, like if a kid can play, coaches and other parents or whatever are going to pull it together and get it to happen. But it's just unfortunate for the kids that don't even get put in front of those right people or like get the opportunity that could have that potential or really could go somewhere, and they just don't have deep enough pockets or aren't exposed to it. So that's the part that I hate about it.
And don't and I forgot this, don't factor in the trainer. Like Peyton has a trainer in the off season. Yeah. Like I'm spending $250 a month just for a trainer. So I mean, like that is it all adds up, man. It does.
The game is the game.
It is.
Now we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up, we'll have our Hater Love It segment, kick it off with our sneakers of the week. This is the W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
Don't be depressed, frustrated, or stressed because of the loss of a loved one. Golden Gate Funeral and Cremation Services is here to assist you with a smooth, stress-free transition. It doesn't matter how your loved one transitioned, we will offer you a memorable celebration to your liking. We are a family-friendly, full-service funeral home right here in the heart of the city, offering affordable cremations and package pricing and quality service. Call us when you need us. 816-231-GATE. That's 816-231-4283. There's only one Golden Gate, located at 2800 East 18th Street, Kansas City, Missouri. Exchanging your grief for a golden experience.
Are you ready to take your gaming experience to the next level? Max Adrenaline Mobile Video Gaming is here to offer the best mobile entertainment that includes video games, laser tag, and karaoke. Our mobile video game theater offers a 33-foot climate-controlled luxury RV with 5 gaming stations, and we can accommodate up to 20 players at once. Are you looking for entertainment at your next event? Well, look no further. We'll come to you. Specializing in birthday parties for all ages, sports events, team building, corporate events, school functions, holiday parties, and more. We're here when you need us at 816-897-0509 or maxadrenalinekc.com.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag Talk About It. Message us. We'll talk about whatever topic you want. This week, our Talk About It, the top attraction at Art Basel this year is the not infamous 120K banana, but a leaderboard ATM, which ranks attendees according to their bank account balance. Let's see the video.
$1 is not zero. Oh my God, this is epic. Rich. Oh. Say sad again. Oh.
I'd hate to be the $1.25.
Yeah, you saw somebody with a zero balance. I think the leader had like, it was like 39 million or something crazy like
ridiculous.
That. Yeah, I mean, like to have that in your checking account though, like, come on, bro.
Chilling.
Slight
flex. But the $1.25, I would be like, all right, it's time for me.
I ain't using that ATM.
I know better. Listen, Bill, it was just the first, so mine might be looking ugly right now.
They definitely didn't factor in strong arm robbery.
Yeah. Oh, you got what in that account?
Yeah.
All right, player.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Because somebody going to follow them home.
Hey, help me out with my overdraft. My overdraft fees.
Yeah, you're going to get home and wake up 3 days later with a headache.
Let's get into our Hate It or Love It segment.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off our sneakers of the week, we had the Air Jordan 11 Cherries. Solid.
Dope. I lucked out on these. I won these about 2 months ago when they had the exclusive release. Yeah, it wasn't a flex. I produced like a slight flex. I'm like, wasn't a flex. It's just I didn't post about them. I didn't post that I even had them.
Yeah.
Like I could have, like, oh yeah, I got these early release, ain't nothing. of all the sneakers that I have lost, about time they gave me some.
Right. Nah, these is cool. I love these.
I rock them. Nike Air Max Penny One All Stars.
I missed on these. I still got them in when they came out in 2015. I feel like these were my Royals World Series winning shoes. Because when I wore these to the game,
really?
They won the World Series. Yeah, so I still have mine. They don't look as clean as these, but they still wearable. I still can rock them.
Yeah,
Fair.
decent.
My favorites this week, the women's Nike Dunk Low Terry Swoosh.
You like the little fur on the side?
I could rock it. Yeah, it's different.
Could you rock those in the summer
I like that. Yeah.
with the fur?
Yeah, you definitely get. This is just a pop of color. Add a little character.
Why wouldn't you wear
Sneakers
that
with
in
the
the
fur,
summer?
not boots with the fur. Sneakers with the fur.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rock them. Now, I definitely wouldn't rock these, the Nike KD 15 Brooklyn Graffitis.
Really?
These look like
Kinda
they.
dope. I'd hoop in them.
4th grade shoes.
I would definitely hoop in these.
They look like they belong on an end cap at Walmart.
I agree with Q. Now, last but not least, we have the Tim Duncans for a friend of the show, Adam Garcia.
I told him we was going. He's like, no Duncans, we got you, bro. I told you we got you. These came out back in like what was this, 94, 93? These Tim Duncans, but these were dope though when they came out. It's kind of like the foam posit, like material.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Yeah, you can get some pants to match that, and you look like a to-go plate.
These were dope though back in the day. I'm not even gonna lie.
I'll pass.
Hard pass.
Yeah. No, Jordan Poole roasted fan with his lack of football stats after being DM'd about losing a bet. Hate it or love it.
I love this because these people are getting outrageous of hitting these players and athletes up about them not causing them to lose a bet. Like I'm just mad about it. I don't like this. Like lose your bet fair and square. You know what the conditions are if you placing that bet. So come on, man.
Like you gonna will somebody to do better for you.
Yeah, but what he said though was even funnier.
If they won,
I'm in this boy's Whoa, head. What the bro? Yo. Some whole paragraph. Yeah. Jordan Poole reply. You roasted my bio. Boy, you don't have those stats. What the you have those stats? You don't have those stats.
Yeah, and the fact, so what the kid said, and granted, like he wrote him a whole paragraph. He said, "Mr. Poole," he came at him correct, and then just lost it. I could have won a bag tonight, but nah, you gotta get stripped at the end of the game and sell my guy ticket. Score all those points just to miss a clutch free throw and turn the ball over at the end of the game. You are the least clutch MFer I've ever seen. I still can barely process how your DA is. He said, I can't believe it. The baddies wasn't in the crowd, were they? Because that's the only time you are any good to anybody. He said, and then Poole responded, you need to worry about getting some playing time on the field. And you wear number 41. You don't even get to pick your jersey number. Scram.
Oh, wow.
Mic drop. Mic drop.
Yeah, that's funny.
City of Knoxville files silly complaint against Neyland Stadium alcohol distributor. Hate it or love it?
I hate it. Come on, man. That's your hometown. How does a city like file a complaint against their hometown school? That just don't get it.
Yeah.
Just talk about underage drinking and all that stuff. Yeah, I hate that. That's
Isaiah Thomas's One World Products and Afro-Colombian group will dedicate 1 million acres to industrial hemp production. Hate it or love it?
I love it.
Yeah, love it. Yeah,
I love it.
Business, get into the hemp business. Yeah,
love to see it.
It just talks about representing a historic shift from indigenous farmer and grower communities and Afro-Colombian population.
Yeah,
helping them get some money.
Heck yeah. Tennessee Volunteers wide receiver Hyatt signs NIL deal with Hyatt Hotel. Hate it or love it?
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
It makes sense.
Yeah, especially they a lot of these folks are utilizing these kids' last names. We saw Byron Pringle. Pringle jumped in on board. So yeah, this Hyatt deal is Jalen Hyatt signing with Hyatt. That's pretty dope. And he talked about how all the families when they go to the bowl game, his teammates' family is going to be able to stay in the Hyatt for free.
Yeah,
that's part of his deal.
That's dope. Big 12 championship game viewership barely trails SEC. Big 10 blows out Pac-12. ACC. Hate it or love it?
I mean, that's what they picked up Deion for.
Yeah, I think K-State and TCU, that game was dope.
Crazy.
Because TCU was, going into the game undefeated, and K-State, and yeah, that was a really good game too. To kind of back it up.
Purple people eaters.
TCU plans 40 mil for athletic training centers, including a football complex. Hate it or love it?
40 mil.
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a facility.
Wonder how much the black colleges in there got in Texas.
Interesting.
The question has been asked earlier this week: could Caleb Williams' vulgar fingernail tradition hurt his Heisman chances? Hate it or love it?
Probably. I mean, but I mean, look, it shows his competition. I mean, it shows his how competitive he is, his competitive nature.
What does his nail say?
It's like FU, Utah, UCLA. It's whatever team he's playing, he puts a FU on his fingernails, spells out the school. So
that's funny.
Yeah, but you got to back it up, and he's done it. So
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, we appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. What you guys have going on for the rest of the day?
Gigging later, man.
Taking it.
Yeah, if you have some kiddos, you watching the show sitting at home or just driving around in your car listening to us on 100.1 FM, remember you can come down to Soiree Steak and Oyster House and get some free photos and videos with the Grinch. Spin with the Grinch. That's Soiree Steak and Oyster House down in the 18th and Vine Jazz District. I'll be headed down there and I might give me a little spin with the Grinch. All right. Thanks for joining in today's show. We will catch you guys next week. Go Chiefs.
Peace.
Expressed of the W Radio Show by the host, co-host, guests, and call-in listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 FM, One Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.